Here's something you're probably doing right now that feels completely healthy. And in a lot of ways, it is. You lace up your shoes. You walk the same route you always walk. Same pace, same time of day. 30 minutes, maybe 45. You finish, you feel good, you check the box. Cardio, done. And I want to be clear about something before we go any further. That habit is genuinely good for you. Walking regularly is one of the best things you can do for your heart, your joints, your mood, and your long-term mobility. Nothing in this video is going to tell you to stop walking. But there's one quiet adjustment hiding inside that routine. And once you understand it, you'll see why the same walk you've done for years might be giving you less than you think. Let's talk about what your cardiovascular system actually needs to keep improving. Your heart and lungs adapt the same way your muscles do, through a principle called progressive challenge. When you first started walking regularly, your body had to work to keep up. Your heart rate climbed, your breathing deepened, and your cardiovascular system responded by getting stronger. But bodies are efficient. Once a certain pace becomes familiar, your heart and lungs learn to handle it without much strain. That's not a flaw, it's actually a sign of fitness. The problem is what happens next. If the effort never increases, the adaptation plateaus. You keep walking, your body just stops being asked to improve. This is the walking mistake. Not that you're walking, but that you may be walking at the same comfortable intensity every single time, which means your cardiovascular system has quietly stopped being challenged, even though you're still putting in the time. So how do you know if this applies to you? There's a simple way to check, and you don't need a heart rate monitor or a lab test. It's called the talk test. If you can comfortably sing while walking, that's a light effort. If you can talk in full sentences but singing would be difficult, that's moderate intensity. And that's a healthy, sustainable zone for most people. But if your walk has settled into, I could recite a whole conversation without noticing my breathing at all, there's a good chance your cardiovascular system has adapted to that pace and isn't being asked to grow anymore. None of this means your walk was wasted. Every walk still supports circulation, joint health, and mental clarity. But if building or maintaining cardiovascular fitness is one of your goals, comfortable and unchanging is exactly the zone where progress tends to stall. Now here's the encouraging part. Fixing this doesn't mean walking longer, walking harder every single day, or turning your walk into something exhausting. It means introducing variation, deliberately and in small amounts. One simple approach is interval-style walking. During part of your walk, pick up the pace for 1 to 2 minutes, enough that talking becomes a little harder, then return to your normal, comfortable pace to recover. Repeat that a few times over the course of your walk. You're not walking harder the whole time. You're just periodically asking your heart and lungs to work a bit more than they're used to. Another option, if you have access to it, is incline. A gentle hill or an incline setting on a treadmill raises the demand on your cardiovascular system without requiring you to move any faster. For some people, especially those managing joint sensitivity, this is a gentler way to add challenge than picking up speed. You could also simply vary your route. A walk with a few more hills, uneven terrain, or a slightly longer distance than usual introduces the same kind of variability your body needs to keep adapting. The goal isn't intensity for its own sake, it's variation. Your cardiovascular system responds to being asked new questions. A walk that never changes eventually stops asking any. One important note here. If you have a heart condition, joint concerns, or any condition that affects your balance or mobility, any changes to pace or terrain should be made gradually and ideally discussed with your doctor first. The goal is to build capacity, not to push into discomfort or risk. If something feels sharp, unstable, or wrong, that's your body telling you to ease back. Always listen to that signal over any advice in this video. A good general approach, start by adding just 1 or 2 intervals of slightly faster walking into one walk per week. See how your body responds over the following days. Only add more once that feels comfortable and sustainable. Before we wrap up, here's a quick way to check whether your walks are working as hard as you are. Next time you finish a walk, ask yourself honestly, did any part of that walk challenge me at all? If the answer is no every single time, that's not a failure, it's simply information. It's your body telling you that it's ready for a little more. You don't need to overhaul your routine. You don't need new shoes, a gym membership, or a training plan. You just need to occasionally ask your body a slightly harder question than it's used to answering. You've already built the habit that most people struggle to maintain, showing up day after day for your own health. That consistency is the hard part, and you've already done it. This is simply about making the walk you already love work a little harder for you. This video is for general educational purposes only and reflects a review of publicly available health and exercise information. It is not medical advice and should not replace guidance from your doctor or a qualified healthcare provider. Always consult your physician before making changes to your exercise routine, especially if you have an existing health condition. If this gave you something useful today, consider subscribing and let us know in the comments, how fast do you usually walk?